Greetings, oh triumphant and glorious people out there. How are we all doing today? I'm doing very well. Today I'm going to do a talk about minimums. What do I mean by that? Well, we all hear people who talk about how high you can climb. You can climb Mount Everest, you can run a 100-meter sprint in under 10 seconds, you can make an Olympic team, you can be an Olympic gymnast, you can do, if we're talking gymnastics, you can work up to being able to do the Iron Cross on the Roman rings or a planche on the floor. But these are the highest, these are the sort of the highest things, a PhD, if you're talking about education, a CEO of a company, these are the highest places that we can climb. But for sure, they are places that we should all attempt to get to. So trying to achieve the highest heights is absolutely admirable, and we should shoot for the moon as much as we can. In fact, outer space, go shoot for as high as you possibly can attain, and well, I think there's been a lot of people who have said that if you shoot for that high and you actually miss the mark, at least you've gotten very, very high. However, how do we know when we've gone too low? Well, that is the subject of this video. We have certain minimums that we need as people, as individuals, to meet each and every day. I have written down 5 that I think are critical, that we pay attention to and that we look after. There are more, and I think a lot of you are going to see these minimums and think, well, wow, that's not a minimum, that is pretty high, a high standard. Well, I don't personally think so. I think we hold ourselves to too low a standard, and these minimums, of which I will speak here in a second, are really, if you slip below those, it's really good to have a baseline. There is an upper baseline. There is a lower baseline. And we need to fall somewhere in the middle. We should be aiming for as high as we possibly can. But if we have a bottom baseline and we know that when we fall below that, we are not doing enough, we need to pull our socks up and get our shit together, well, having a lower baseline, this is something, quite frankly, parents, teachers, schools, education, life should put out there. Sometimes it's great to be told, just do your best, but that's not very quantifiable. Hard to gauge exactly what your best is. Well, it's also sometimes hard to gauge what your worst is. And these minimums will help show you where you should not fall below. My first one, which a lot of you are going to freak out about, is an hour of exercise a day. Yeah, that's right. And I've brought this up many times before. It does need to be age appropriate. What you do at 9 years of age is quite different to what you'll do at 99 years of age, but an hour of exercise. And as it needs to be age appropriate, it also needs to be fitness and activity level appropriate. So if you've been sitting on the couch and not doing anything for the last few years, or you are a couch and cubicle type worker, well then it's not appropriate for you to go out and start hitting CrossFit, doing high intensity interval training today. But it is appropriate for you to take a 20-minute walk in the morning, a 20-minute walk in the evening, and maybe doing some light stretching for 20 minutes in the middle of the day. Do that for a week, move up. For other people, depending on your activity level, maybe you can do something much more intense. An hour is a minimum though. And really, you should be aiming, and I'll talk about this in another video when I just focus on exercise, you should be aiming for a diversity. You should lift some things, you should stretch a little bit, or at least become more limber, more internally aware of your physical connection to your mind and to your body, and you should do something that is a little fitness oriented. Okay, An hour of exercise a day. You don't do that, you're not doing enough. Oh, and yes, you can do a heck of a lot more than that. This is minimums. All right. Know your calories. Know what the calories are of the food that you eat. Know what your maintenance calories are. Know what a deficit for you is. Know what the calories for a person, for the person that you would like to be, for the weight that you would like to get to. If you happen to be 100 pounds overweight, you need to incrementally decrease your calories so that you can actually eventually get to being the target weight that you would like to be. If you are not aware of the calories of your food and the foodstuffs that you're eating and what you're putting in your body, then you are going to either be too thin in rarer cases, but most of the time in our Western world now, you're going to be fat. And if you aren't aware of your calories, I can tell you, if you just count the calories of food, if you pull up nutritionalfacts.com or the nutrition facts on Google, you will get a pretty good idea of what it is, or what the calories are of the food that you're eating. And you'll very quickly realize that you cannot eat as much or eat as much of what you're eating. If you're not paying attention to your calories, you're not paying attention to your health. You need to know the calories that you need in and the calories that you need out. Pay attention to the next video I do, because it's going to be calories in, calories out, and I'm going to talk a little bit more in-depthly about nutrition. This one is a little bit shaky, but not shaky, but take as few meds as possible. All right, because we go to the doctor these days and you're going to get meds that are going to help you with your mental state, you're going to get meds that are going to help you with your blood pressure, you're going to get meds that are going to help you with sleep, you're going to get meds, and then you're going to get side effects from those meds, and you're going to get meds that help the side effects of the meds. And if you pay attention to the ads on TV, there's a new asthma medication out there that increases the chance of asthma-related death. Yeah. Why would you take a medication for your illness that increased the chance of that illness killing you? Anyway, boggles my mind. I'm sure it got through the FDA somehow. But I'm not a doctor. I'm not telling you what to take. I'm not trying to diagnose you. I am not trying to cure you. I'm trying to help you have a better life. So you want to be discerning yourself. Take as few meds as possible. This medicine is, by its very nature, it is a balance. You need to take the right amount, not the wrong amount. You take too much and it's going to hurt you. You take, well, too little and maybe that will hurt you too. But maybe you'll figure out a way to live without it. You are hurting your liver, you are hurting your kidneys when you take too many pills, and it will shorten your life expectancy. So, as few meds as possible. Diet and exercise, if you get those right, will honestly take care of most things. On that same deal, I believe, and I've got experience with this, you want to have 6 standard drinks a week. That is your maximum. None of this, oh, I need to drink a whole pile of red wine for my heart. Oh, I need to drink beer. I saw recently a study said you had to get drunk with your friends twice a week to be healthy. That's ridiculous. 6 standard drinks may sound extreme and it may sound like too little. I'm actually a believer that if you want to have those 6 standard drinks on Friday night with your friends, as long as you're not drinking and driving and you're taking care of things, hey, fine. As long as you meet your minimums, doesn't really matter. Now, you may decide that 6 is too little. You may decide that 6 is too much, but it is a guideline for your minimums. Take it seriously. Sleep. We need to make sure that we get enough sleep. This means nothing good happens after midnight. May be true. Most of the time. get to bed at a decent time. You want to be hitting your 6 to 8 hours, sometimes even 9, sometimes even 10 hours. Really get that rejuvenation, and especially if you're working out super hard, doing a lot of lifting, then you absolutely positively need that sleep for growth and recovery. You need it for physical recovery, but you also need it for mental recovery. This is why we dream, we recalibrate, our subconscious puts everything that we've been thinking into a package that our brain understands, and sometimes when we dream, let's face it, we don't. But we need our sleep. That is number 4. Number 5, the most critical component to life that so many people forget is self-improvement, is study. What are you doing each day? What time are you taking out each day to get better? And this could be as simple as reading a book. Well, reading a book, how does that make you get better? Well, it improves your relaxation, it improves your reading ability, it improves your knowledge. Sometimes even if it's just a fiction book, it can improve your knowledge, it can add to fantasy in your brain and have your brain working. Should this be the only thing you do? Well, maybe on certain days, absolutely. But on other days, are you learning a martial art? Are you learning a new language? Are you practicing a musical instrument? Are you reading a non-fiction book about whatever topic? I've been reading a number recently. The War of Art, I think it's called, by Steven Pressfield. Great book, very encouraging to creative minds and business minds alike to get in and do your work, which is a little bit about what these minimums are about. Study is incredibly important. Even if it's just self-study. Maybe get a book on yoga if you like. Practice some stretching. Maybe get, start out. Go and buy yourself a flute. Learn to play the flute. Learn that new musical language that so many people are unaware of. Growth in some area that you need to grow in, do it. And you need to do it every single day. Maybe just 15 minutes, maybe an hour, maybe Lumosity. Work the mind. Lots of different options. So, what are the 5 things that are your minimums? Well, your 5 minimums are 1 hour of exercise a day, know the calories of the food you eat and what calories you're putting in your body and how much you need for maintenance. Take as few meds as possible in your life to keep yourself healthier. Yeah, that's what I said. Limit your amount of drinks to 6 standard drinks a week. All right, there may be times where you go away, you have a party, you go down to Mexico or whatever it is, and you blow that out. Well, as long as you know that you're blowing out your minimums and you get back to them, it's not that big a deal, mate. And finally, self-improvement study. You've got to be working on yourself and self-improvement all the time. Now, I can tell you that hitting these minimums sounds intense and it sounds sort of crazy, but it will make you happy. Yes, my glorious and triumphant friends, it will make you happy. You'll feel great that you're hitting your minimums. You will know every day that you're not letting yourself slide and you're improving. This is just hitting the minimums. Mate, doing more than this is not icing on the cake. No, you've only got the ingredients for the cake when you hit your minimums, but it will make you feel better, and slowly but surely you hit your minimums, then you'll start to head towards the maximums. That's true. Discipline is freedom, as Jocko Willink says. And discipline with your minimums. Why does the sun always decide to come out halfway through my videos? Golly, it screws up my green screen and everything. Alright. Discipline is freedom. Hitting your minimums is a discipline that you need to add to your life. You need to be aware of what they are, and you need to know when you're slipping too much. If you're slipping too much, if you're falling below those minimums, you are going to head towards problems. You're going to have problems at work, you're going to have problems in your relationships, in your own life, and you're going to be digging a hole constantly that you have to try and get back to sea level, rather than climbing that mountain that you want to climb. All right. What are your minimums out there, people? Are there minimums that you think that I've missed? Some notable mentions would be family, partnerships, relationships, work, what time you get up in the morning, what time you go to bed, some more particulars, maybe some more particulars about macronutrients, micronutrients when it comes to your nutrition. What are your minimums? These, I think, are a pretty good baseline. Take on these 5 minimums, and I guarantee that once you've established them in your life and you don't drop below them, you will have a better life, you will be happier, and you'll make those around you happier and inspired. All right, gang, I'm the Silverback. Stay glorious, stay triumphant, and I'll catch you next time.